Very good morning, dear students. So, welcome back to the physics class. So, hope you all solved some few of the questions that what we discussed in our previous class related to the competitive part, that is what KCET, NEET and JEE. Now, my dear students, now I am just moving towards the second part, that is what the continuation of the questions that we discussed in the previous class. We discussed only of about 5 questions in the previous class. Now let us solve some more bits which are related to the motion in a straight line chapter. Hope you all. So ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಹತ್ರ ಶೀಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಶೀಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. So ನಾನು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬರೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. So in the first class I just written the question on board and I tried to solve it. So now I'm not going to waste the time. So I'm just going to read the question which was given in this sheet. So just keep this sheet with you. So that bit you should go through that paper, the sheet that we provided. So after that one book ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರ KCET questions ನ ಬರ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ KCET ಇದು. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನೀವು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಶೋ ಯು. ಓಕೆ, ಅದರ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರು ಕೂಡ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಳ್ಕೊಬೇಡಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇದನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಫೈಲಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊತೀರಾ, ಒಂದು ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊತೀರಾ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಇದೇ ಥರ ಒಂದು A4 ಶೀಟಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅಥವಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಯಾವ ಶೀಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಆ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ನ ಈ ಪೇಪರ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸ್ಟಬಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ಫೈಲಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಮೈ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಟುಡೇ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ದ ಪಾರ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 6. So in the previous class we completed up to 5th question. Today in this class sorry, I am moving with the 6th question. So read the question once. So a runner is walking along a straight road. He takes 5 steps forward and 3 steps backward, followed by 5 steps forward and 3 steps backward, and so on. Each step is 1 meter long and takes 1 second. There is a pit on the road 11 meters away from the starting point. The drunkard will fall into the pit after, options are like this: 21 seconds, 29 seconds, 31 seconds and 37 seconds. Here we have a drunkard. The drunkard is a person is what is moving 5 steps forward and 3 steps backward. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನಡಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 5 ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ 5 ಹೆಜ್ಜೆನ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದೇ ಥರ ವಾಪಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ 3 ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಹಿಂದೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. You know that drunkard how they are going to walk. So it means that person is going to place 5 steps forward and 3 steps backward. So it means the total steps covered by the person is 2. Online ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. See, I am just solving the question number 6. So here is moving 5 steps forward, right? So 5 steps forward. So and 3 steps backward. It means the total is 5 minus 3. That is he covered 2 steps. So one he used to put 5 steps forward, and when he come back to 3 steps, it means his displacement is 2 steps. So the total displacement is like that 2 steps. Now cover ಮಾಡಿದಷ್ಟು only 2. See dear students, I am repeating again. So suppose if you consider this as a starting point. So he is moving 5 steps. First step, second step, third step, fourth step and fifth step, and come back. See, 1 2 3 4 5 and come back 1 2 3. So is just moving from 1 2 3. So ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಅವನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾನೆ, right? So he used to move 5 steps forward and 3 steps backward. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ then what is the displacement? Displacement is a shortest distance between initial and final point. So that the displacement is 2 steps. Other than total steps is cover ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ 2 steps. ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ವೇ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮೀಟರ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಒನ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಈಸ್ 1 meter and the time taken is 1 second for one step. It means, see here, see how many meters he covered here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is distance. But now we are not going to consider the distance. We are going to consider the displacement. It means to cover 2 meter, to cover 2 steps. It means for one step 1 meter, right? The total displacement, and the displacement is 2 meter because I written here it as 2 steps. One step is equal to 1 meter. So the time taken is 2 seconds. It covers, the rocket covers 2 meter. 2 meter in 8 seconds. See my dear students, confuse agabedi. So 8 seconds. Yake 8 seconds anta hela. So from here to here, you used to move 5 steps. And the 5 steps in the 5 meter move ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. 5 meter ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ಸ್? 5 seconds. ಅದೇ ತರ ಮತ್ತೆ 3 steps backward ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. So it means 5 plus 3 it becomes 8 seconds. Hope you got. 2 meter ನ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ? 8 seconds. Why? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So totally 8 seconds used to consider. 2 meter ನ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ 8 seconds. Done. There is a pit on the road 11 meter away from the starting point. The drunkard will fall into the pit after. See, he is completely drunken. Person is completely drunken. So he is moving on a road. So while he was moving, so from the origin point, so there is a pit exactly at the 11 meter distance. The pit is here. So that person will fall into the pit by how many seconds? So that t is equal to question mark. To calculate this, what is the total distance? 11 meter. So my dear students, for every motion, one in 5 steps forward hogi, matte 3 steps backward bartidane. So I am just going to consider 11 minus 5 meter, which gives you 6 meter. Right. Then 2 meter cover ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ 8 seconds ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, then how many seconds you will consume for covering of 6 meter? 6 meter. Right. And then 2 plus 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2 plus 2. And 6. ಆದರೆ 2 meter ಗೆ 8 seconds ಆದರೆ 6 meter ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 8 3s are, because 2 3s are, you will get 6. So 2 meters 8 seconds. Then what about 6 meter? To cover 6 meter, 3 into 8 seconds becomes equal to 24 seconds. So to cover 6 meter, the drunkard consumes 24 seconds. So my dear students, total distance is to 11 meter. Origin in the pit irodu 11 meter. Now ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯೋದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮೀಟರ್ಗೆ? 6 ಮೀಟರ್ಗೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 5 ಮೀಟರ್ ಇದೆ. For 5 meter, ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. For 1 meter is going to consume 1 second. Then for 5 meter used to consume 5 seconds. Right. So then what is the total? So then see here, 24 seconds plus 5 seconds. Total time is equal to 29 seconds. Hope you got. That is what? The option B is the right answer. So option B is the right answer. Hope you got this, right? Confuse ಆಗಬೇಡಿ. 5 steps forward ಹೋಗಿ 3 steps backward ಬಂದಾಗ ಅವನು ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಷ್ಟು 2 step ಅಷ್ಟೇ, 2 meter ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಆದರೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ? 8 seconds ತಗೊಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಟೋಟಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 8 meter ಅಂತ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್, we are just going to consider the displacement here. So that for 2 meter it took 8 seconds. Then on move ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 5 steps forward ಹೋಗಿ 3 steps ಹಿಂದೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. So that total is 11 meter. Then I am going to subtract it by 5 meter. It comes out to be 6 meter. 2 meter ಗೆ 8 second ಆದರೆ 6 meter ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು? So 6 can be divided by 2 into 3 parts. So the 3 into 8 second becomes 24 second. And for 5 meter, ಉಳಿದಿರೋದೆಷ್ಟು 6 meter ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದ್ವಿ. Remaining is 5 meter. So according to the question, for 1 meter it is 1 second. So for 5 meter we get 5 seconds. If I add 24 and 5, I will get totally of about 29 seconds. That is option B is the right answer. Okay, now dear students, now let us move to the next question. Question number 7. Yes, the question number 7 was like this. A body is released from the top of a tower, falls through off the height of the tower in 2 seconds. And what time shall the body fall through the height of the tower? See my dear students, the question was in this way. So we are going to leave a ball from the top of the tower. So I am just going for the 7th question. So in the 7th question, so I am just going to throw the ball from the top of the tower. So I am just allowing the ball to fall from the top of the tower. Right. The height of the tower is h. Now the ball is falling downwards. The question is like this. Falls through half of the height of the tower in 2 seconds. So half of the height reach agenge. So to reach the half of the height, how much second it consumed? 2 seconds of the time it was consumed. Right. 2 seconds of the time it was consumed. Then what is the, so you can observe that in what time shall the body fall through the height of the tower? Then ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ half of the tower reach ಆಗೋಕೆ 2 seconds ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಟವರ್ ನ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಹೈಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ how much time does this ball is going to consume? This was the question. Okay, hope you got this. So now let us solve this. I want to calculate the total time. Dear students, so half of the tower cover ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು time ತಗೊಂಡು 2 seconds, right? So I am using the formula. So I am not going to reduce the formula here. So ನಾನು ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಿಮಗೆ. So while solving the numerical, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರೀತೀನಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಲ್ ನ ಒಂದು ಹೈಟ್ ಇಂದ ಥ್ರೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. When we are going to throw at the highest point, always the velocity is 0. So we have the formula h is equal to ut plus half gt square. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ velocity ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ 0 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So this term vanishes. So remaining is half gt square. So ನನಗೆ time ಬೇಕು. So t square is equal to cross multiplication. So 2h divided by g ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So I am using this formula. So directly use ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So you should remember these all things in your mind. G value, u value, l is 0 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Everything you should remember. So t square is equal to 2h divided by g. This was the formula. See my dear students, here this is t square is equal to 2h by g. But ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, height h is equal to half of the height, right? At first ಎಷ್ಟು distance cover ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, h is equal to h by 2, half of the distance cover ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ t square can be written as 2h by 2 divided by g. 2 cancel ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. t square ಏನು ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ h by g ಮಾತ್ರ ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ. Take it as equation number 1. So now this is the time taken by the ball to reach half of the height. But full height reach ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ so ಹೊಸ time ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. That is said to be t square dash. Right. So dear students, t square dash is equal to, so the same formula, total height h na cover ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Because height h is equal to h, nothing change here. I am not going to change anything in this question. So now take it as equation number 2. I am dividing equation 2 by equation 1. So t square dash divided by t square is equal to 2h by g. ಇದನ್ನ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, h g cancel ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Remaining is 2. Cross multiplication ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ t square ಆ ಕಡೆ reach ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So power. So whereas dear students, teach dash ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಬೇಕನ್ನೋ. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ square ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎರಡು ಕಡೆನೂ I am applying square root on both the sides. So t dash becomes equal to square root of 2 into square root of t square. Square square root cancel ಆದರೆ t ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ. So t dash is equal to root 2 into t. So what is the value for root 2? 1.414 into what is the value of t? 2 seconds. So here how much you will get? 2.8. So t dash is equal to 2.8 seconds. So you can observe that in the seventh question we have 4 options. 4 second, 3.26 second, 3.48 second, and the last option is 2.828 second. That is answer is fourth option. Answer is fourth option. Fourth option is the right answer. Hope you got this. Now let us move to the next question. That is question number 8. So ನಾನು ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು fast ಆಗಿ so that you can easily cover this up. So the question number 8 was like this. A particle is moving along x-axis. Its displacement x in meter and time is in seconds are related by the equation t is equal to 5 plus root x. The displacement of a particle when its velocity becomes 0 is option A 2.5 meter, option B 0, option 3 5 meter, and option 4 10 meter. See, here the question was in this way. I am just moving toward the solving of question number 8. So a particle is moving along x-axis, no problem, but the particle is moving, right? Whether it may be in x, y, and z, no problem, it is moving along x direction. What is its displacement? They given the displacement in meter. We know that always the displacement should be measured in terms of meter and the time in seconds and related by the equation. They given the equation, so that equation is t is equal to 5 plus root x. The displacement of a particle when its velocity becomes 0 is the displacement of a particle when its velocity becomes 0. See what we should calculate? Displacement of particle when its velocity becomes equal to 0. This was the condition. Then what I should calculate? I want to calculate x. But to calculate the x, I should apply the condition that the velocity is equal to 0. To calculate this, I am just rearranging this equation. I want to calculate the x. So keep root x as it is. I am not going to change that position. Which is equal to I am going to shift plus 5 toward this side. It becomes minus 5. That is t minus 5. I want only x, not root x. Right. So x is equal to I am doing squaring on both the sides. So it becomes t minus 5 whole square. Right. Now I got an equation. Put it as star. So one x and equation ಬಂದಿದೆ. So ನನಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕು ಈಗ velocity 0 ಅಂತ substitute ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ I can calculate x. Why? Because they have not given any value which is related to time. So how to calculate this? Dear students, see here what is velocity? Rate of change of displacement is called velocity. You know that the velocity can be written as dx by dt, right? Now d by dt of what is x here? X is t minus 5 whole square, right? So here it is in the form of d by dt of some value. See, in the previous class I just given you the formula. If it is in this format, so we should write here it in terms of n into x to the power of n minus 1. Here in place of n we have 2. In place of x we have t minus 5. So now, according to the formula, n is 2, x is t minus 5 to the power n minus 1, that is 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. Nothing is there in the power. Easily we can write it this way. But we should not stop here itself. Why? Because here we have only one term set to be x, but here we have the complete term, that is what? 2t minus 5. So that even we can differentiate this also. So finally I got that 2 into t minus 5. Now, what is the value of v? V is equal to 2 into t is 2t minus 2 5 is 10. So in the question they given velocity is 0. Substitute it. So we will get 2t minus 10. Shift minus 10 to this side. We will get 2t is equal to 10. Then what is t? T is 2 ones are 2 5s are. Therefore, t is equal to 5. See dear students, I used the condition which was given in the question and I finally calculated the value of t. If I substitute the value of t in equation star, I will get the value of x. So x is equal to, what is t? T is 5 and here is minus 5 is there, right as it is. To that we have whole square. 5 minus 5 is 0. 0 square is 0 itself. Therefore the displacement is 0 meter. So which option is right? So option 2. Option 2. Option 2 is having 0. So the option 2 is the right answer. Hope you got this, my dear students. So this is about question number 8. Now let us move to the next question. Yes. The next question is 9th question. So the velocity time graph of a particle moving along a straight line is as shown in the figure. The displacement of a body in 5 seconds is. See dear students, the question was like this. They given a graph. So in that graph is especially a velocity time graph. The object is moving in a straight line. Then the displacement of a body in 5 seconds. We should calculate the displacement of a body. So I am solving the 9th question. We should show the displacement of a body in how many seconds? In 5 seconds. This was the question. To solve this, first I want to write the graph which was given in the question. Observe the graph carefully because as I said during the theory classes that on the graphs you will get n number of questions, right? So observe the graph. So I am going to write the graph here on the board. This was the graph given in the question. So options are like this. Option 1 is 0.5 meter, option 2 is 1 meter, option 3 is 2 meter and option 4 3 meter. So how to solve this one? This was a graph given, but we should calculate the total displacement. Dear students, hope you know that area of velocity time graph gives you displacement. Hope you know this one, right? As well as the slope of velocity time graph gives you acceleration. Here what we should calculate? We should calculate the displacement. Then what we should calculate from the graph? If we calculate the area, obviously we can move for the solving of displacement. Right. So hope you know. So just write here. So area of VT graph gives you displacement. Then what I want to calculate in the graph? I want to calculate the area present in the graph. To calculate the area, here I have, see, I have a triangle, here I have one triangle, here I have one triangle and here I have one square. that is yes, I have a square. So my dear students, I want to calculate the area of the first triangle, I want to calculate the area of the second triangle, and also I want to calculate the area of the third square, so that the area of all these things, if I just sum it up, then I will get the solution for the displacement which was given in the question. So 5 seconds is the area, right? So it means up to here we should calculate the area. So let us see how to calculate that. So from the mathematics, you know that the area of a triangle is half into base into height. Similarly, you know that for a rectangle, length into breadth is the area. So my dear students, here I am just doing out the same here. Okay, and here I am doing out the same here to calculate that. So here let us calculate the area of the triangle. So the displacement. See exam, CG exam for competitive exam NEET JEE and no need to write all these things in the paper. So you should just work it out. So now for your explanation, for your better understanding, so to get the master over solving of the n number of bits. So we are just showing you out the detailed explanation and detailed solving of the things. So like this you should not do in the examination. After solving one or two chapters, after moving off, after completing one or two chapters, you will get master that how to solve it very fastly or very quickly, because you will have very small amount of time. Just within a fraction of time you should solve it out, right? So here the displacement is equal to sum of area of the first triangle, plus area of the second triangle. So ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಬರೀ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇದೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Area of the third square. Yes, now see what is the area of the triangle? Half into base into height. What is base? Base is this, height is this, base is this, height is this. It means base is 3 up to 3 and height is 2, right? So 3 into 2, base into height, plus next second triangle, half into base into height. What is base? See, from here to here, from here to here it is 1. So 3 to 4 it is 1. 3 to 4 ನೀವು 4 ಅಂತ ಬರೀಬಾರ್ದು, it is wrong. So why? Because ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So it means 4 minus 3 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು? 1. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಬೇಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ? 1 ಇರುತ್ತೆ, right? ಅದೇ ತರನೇ see here it is in a downward direction. So height in the downward direction ಇದೆ. ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ height? -2 ಇದೆ. So it is -2. Right, it is -2. Right, now plus area of the square. So area of the square is that length into breadth, length into breadth, length into breadth. So 5 minus 4 is that 1 is the length into breadth is that this much, that is 1. 1 is the breadth, right? So now 2 to cancel, 3 plus 2 to cancel, it means minus the minus into plus. Minus 1, here 1 ones are 1. So plus 1 minus 1 cancel all that. Udiyadu estu 3 meter. So which option is the right answer? So option 4. Option 4 is the right answer. Hope you are getting answer. Option 4 is the right answer. This is our question number 9. So now let us move to the next question. That is question number 10. See the question carefully. A particle travels half the distance with a velocity of 6 meters per second. The remaining half the distance is covered with a velocity of 4 meters per second for half the time, and with a velocity of 8 meters per second for the rest of the time. What is the velocity of a particle average over the whole time of motion? So this was a question. Before going towards discussion of the before going towards the reading of that option, I just want to explain in the question. There is one particle. So how actually that the particle is traveling? So if I just consider this as a total journey, this is said to be the initial point and this is said to be the final point. If I consider that final and initial position, then particle travels of the distance with 6 meter per second velocity. Of the distance with 6 meter per second velocity ನಲ್ಲಿ a particle cover ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Then remaining of distance is covered with the velocity of 4 meter per second for half the time and with the velocity of 8 meter per second for the rest of the time. It means here now half of the distance is covered with the velocity of 6 meter per second. Whereas remaining half of the distance is covered with the velocity of 4 meter per second and also with the velocity of 8 meter per second. Right. But whereas the 4 meter per second is covered by the particle in half of the time, whereas in remaining time, so that the particle is going to move with 8 meter per second. So then I want to calculate the average velocity. So already I said you that suppose if you just assume that you are moving from a school to from your college to your home. So by the time you are going to move with different velocity, your speed is not going to be constant from the school, from the college to the entire your home. So it is going to vary with the time. So then ಇಲ್ಲಿ half of the distance ನೀವು 6 meter per second speed ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅರ್ಧ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 4 meter per second ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ನು ಉಳಿದಿರೋ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 8 meter per second ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. So then ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ what is the average velocity? This was the question. So first here for half of the distance we have 6 meter per second. Then first let us conclude that how much is the average velocity for the remaining of the distance. After that let us average it out. So for first half of the distance, velocity is equal to 6 meter per second. So I am just going to put it as V1. Then for second half of the journey, second half of distance average velocity, see I am writing the average. Illestre ಎರಡು velocity ಇದೆ. So 4 plus 8 divided by 2 which is equal to 12 by 2 which is equal to 6 meter per second. See ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ so here the average of 4 and 8 is 6 meter per second. First half of the distance is covered by 6 meter per second velocity and the second half of the distance is covered by 6 meter per second velocity. Then the total average speed, the total average velocity is equal to 6 meter per second plus 6 meter per second divided by 2. I am just calculating the average, so that it becomes equal to 12 by 2 which is equal to 6 meter per second. Which option is the right answer? Hope you got that. The answer 2, option 2 becomes the right answer. So this is how to calculate the question number 10. Yes, now let us move to the next question. That is what question number 11. Yes, the question number 11 was like this. An object falls from rest. In the last second of its fall, it covers half the total distance. If g is 9.8 meter per second, then what is the total height? What is the total height of the fall? Options are 9.6 meter, 50 meter, 57 meter and 78.4 meter. So I am going to read the question once. Here the question was like this. The particle, the object fall from rest. Rest means initial velocity is 0 meter per second. Next, in the last second of its fall. So while the object is going to fall, see here I am just going to say the object is going to fall from some height. Then what is the total time taken by the object while it is falling? T. But already last second of fall. Last second means t minus 1. Right. Suppose ಈ ಜರ್ನಿಗೆ 10 seconds ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು 9ನೇ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ರೈಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಟು ಹೋಮ್. ಸೊ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ actually I am going to take half an hour, that is 30 minutes for my journey. So in the last minute ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು 29th minute ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ತರನೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಟಿ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮಿನಿಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಇರೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದನ್ನು ಕಳಿಬೇಕು. That is said to be t minus 1. Hope you got out at the last second. So then the last second of its fall, it covers half of the total distance. The total distance is h. So then ಈ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 1 ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ h by 2 ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ half of the distance ನ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Then if they given that g is equal to 9.8 meter per second square, then what is the total height? We should calculate the total height of fall is. So how to calculate this, my dear students? How to calculate this? In t minus 1 second, it covers how much height? h by 2. Then we should calculate the total height. So you know that h can be written as ut plus of gt square, right? But here initial velocity is 0, then the final this becomes equal to of gt square. Dear students, here we have the value of g. Then to calculate h, we should know the value of t square. See, this is equation number 1. So in the last minute, in the last second, t minus 1 second, how much height it was covered? h by 2, which is equal to of g into t minus 1 whole square. Take it as equation number 2. See, my dear students, I just want to calculate the value of t here. I just want to calculate the value of t. I have the two equations. So that with the help of these two equations, I can just move on for the solving of value of t, and then we can move towards the solving of the value h. So then, to solve this, whether we have to divide or whether we have to add or whether we have to subtract. But here I am subtracting equation 1 and 2. So h minus h by 2 is equal to of gt square in the equation 1. Next one is minus of g t minus 1 whole square. So t minus 1 whole square is in the form of a minus b whole square. It means a square, right? Hope you are getting a square plus b square, right? Minus 2ab, it means 2b. See, my dear students, plus of gt square minus of gt square cancel ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. That ಇಲ್ಲಿ when h minus h by 2 ಅಂದ್ರೆ h by 2 ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ. 1 minus of, it means of itself. Then h is common, write h here. Then here you can observe. Here what will get? Minus into plus. See, of ಹಾಗೆ ಇರಲಿ. Of g is a common term for 1 and minus 2t. Minus into plus, minus 1. Minus into minus, plus. So it becomes of g into 2t minus 1. Dear students, what is h? H is of gt square. So of into, so here it is again h again by karne of gt square is equal to of g into 2t minus 1. So just of cancel, gt cancel. So ಈ 2 ನ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ t square is equal to 2 2s are 4t plus into minus 2 1s are 2. Right? T square is equal to 4t minus 2. So dear students, t square ಇದು plus 4t ಆ ಕಡೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ minus 4t minus 2 ಆ ಕಡೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ plus 2 is equal to 0. But ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಟೈಮ್ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಬೇಕು. To calculate time, we should find out the roots. Root calculate ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರಲ್ಲ. So I am using the formula minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 2 4ac divided by 2 into A. Right, this was the formula I am using this. So from your high school. So 3 is equal to minus, when the minus 4 into minus, it becomes plus 4. So 4 plus or minus. So t square. So just my dear students, I am just calculating this root here. I am just calculating the root, right? So I am just calculating the root. So plus or minus divided by 2 is that. It means 4 by 2 is 2. In I divided by 2 hage irutte. I am just going to write 2 as it is. 4 square andre 16, right? 4 square andre 16, minus estida 2 4s are 8. 16 minus 8 andre estu 8. How to write 8? 4 into 2, right? 4 into 2. What is the square root of 4? Square root of 4 is 2. Remaining is root 2. 2 cancel. Remaining is root 2 itself. So finally we got time is equal to 2 plus or minus root 2 second. So finally we calculated the time, dear students. We got time. We got the time. Then we can calculate h. So we h calculate ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. So h is equal to half into what is g? G is 9.8 into t is 2 plus or minus root 2 whole square. See here 2 ones are 2 4.9s are. So that is equal to 4.9 into, see here 2 plus or minus root 2 whole square we have. This is square model plus or minus antide. So which one I should consider? Whether I should consider plus or whether I should consider minus? I should consider always plus. I should not move towards the using of minus. So a plus b whole square. So that is what a square plus b square plus 2ab. Right, 2 2s are 4, 4 into root 2, root 4 into root 2. What is root 2? 1.414. Right, 1.414 is 5.6 you will get. So that multiplication ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರೀತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 5 is 11.6 into 4.9. So the total value you will get is, so you have the options, right? So you have options, that is what 19.6, 50, 57 and 78.4. So 4.9 into 11.6. 4.9 andre 5. 5 into 55. Nearly 55 antara agutte. So I am just doing a particular one. So that it becomes 57 meter. So later multiply value will get 57. So suppose direct multiply 4.5 is 4.9 is 5. So 5 into 11 is 55. So 55 is nearly equal to 57, which was given in the question. So that we can write it as option 3 is the right answer. So that answer is option 3. Option 3 becomes the right answer. See dear students, ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಲಂಚಿ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್. ಸೊ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಇದು ಒಂದೊಂದು ಥರ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. somewhere will add, somewhere will minus, somewhere we are going to divide, somewhere we are multiplying. ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಏನೋ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. how to do all these things ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಬೇಡ. one thing 1 2 3. So if you do like this chapter 1 or 2 chapters complete ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವೇ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಆ ಥರ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ಸ್. ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ಸ್. ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಫಾಸ್ಟಾಗಿ ನೀವು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ಕಲಿತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ this is about the 11th question. Now let us move with the question number 12. Yes. The question number 12 was like this, my dear students. Let us move it fast. So the motion of the particle along a straight line is as shown in the figure. The average velocity of the particle is. We should calculate the average velocity of the particle. To calculate the average velocity of a particle, they given the graph. I am going to write the graph here. So the graph is in this way. Right. So I am writing the graph. Yes, it is a velocity time graph. So velocity time graph ಇದೆ. whereas object is moving along a straight line, the average velocity of a particle is. So sometimes its velocity is constant, sometimes its velocity is varying, sometimes its velocity is decreasing. So that vary ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಟೈಮ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, average velocity calculate ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. How to calculate the average velocity? So you know that the calculation of average velocity with respect to the time. So that average velocity can also be easily calculated with the help of that already what I shown, just by adding of the velocities and dividing it by the total, that is what total number of terms that we added. So like that also we can calculate. Otherwise if the graph was in this way, so we should calculate it with the help of graph. So here we have one rectangle. So here also we have one rectangle. Again here we have one which one, trapezium. So that we have to calculate the average velocity, from this graph. So here the average velocity I am calculating with respect to the time. My dear students, see here velocity and displacement divided by time taken. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ displacement ಹೇಗೆ calculate ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? Displacement of this rectangle, displacement of this rectangle, displacement of this trapezium. So let us give the name 1, 2 and 3. So area under VT graph gives you displacement. Area under VT graph gives you displacement. Area under VT graph gives you displacement. So I want to calculate the area under this complete graph. So the area of first rectangle plus area of second rectangle plus area of trapezium, divided by total time. Total time is 0 to 12 seconds. So the total time is 12. So what is the area of the triangle? First triangle, see here length is 25, breadth is 4. So length into breadth 25 into 4. 25 into 4 100. It becomes 100. So direct by name. The next, the area of this triangle. So length is 10, breadth is 4. 8 minus 4 is 4. 8 minus 4 is 4. So 4 into 10, it becomes 40. Then plus area of trapezium. So while writing the area of trapezium, you should be very careful, my dear students. Very careful. That is what the formula is, half into. So that the area of the trapezium is half into sum of two parallel sides. What is the sum of two parallel sides? This is a parallel side, this is a parallel side. This parallel side is 10, this parallel side is 25. So 10 plus 25. So 10 plus 25 into the base. See 12 minus 8. 12 minus 8 is 4 into base. Formula area of the trapezium is equal to half into sum of two parallel sides into its base. So 100 plus 40 is 140 plus. Here we have 2 ones are 2 twos are. So 10 plus 25 is 35. So 10 plus 25 is 35. 35 into 2. 2 5s are 10. 2 is 6 1 7. 70. So divided by 12. Right. So here we finally got 140 plus 70 divided by 12. That is what? Total value is 210 divided by 12. So if you just solve this, you will get 17.5 meter per second as the average velocity. So we solved from question number 6 to question number 12. So dear students, still so many numericals or so many bits are there. In the next part, I used to cover almost all the bits and I will give few of the bits for your homework. So please solve the same bits in your home. Complete again once you practice. Thank you dear students.